Hi, I'm Wendi Eckstein, and today we're at the Nile Institute with Megan Eve, and she is a medical intuitive. Today we're going to learn all about what that means and Megan's passions. Hello, Megan.
Hello. Thank you.
So tell us exactly what a medical intuitive is.
Well, I think that's a really good question, and I think that each medical intuitive you spoke to would have a different answer to that question. For me personally, how it developed is that by spending many hours over years putting my hands on people and just being open to their system, talking to me, telling me what it needs, what's happening with it, that I began to find that people's bodies communicate really well.
Wow.
And there was all this wonderful information being conveyed. Mm-hmm. And often that information will be medical. I work with a four-body system where there's a physical body, an emotional body, a mental body, and a spiritual body. And where a person's current challenge area is can be in any one of those bodies or a combination of them.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that's in the physical body. And then there's a lot of clear information that shows up there for that's what the body is, what's happening, what it needs, what's going on.
When you're saying you're touching people when they come in contact with you, is it because of Reiki? Is it another form of healing art? How is it that initial communication started for you?
Okay, I love your questions. They're great questions. When I first learned about energy work, I was invited to this experience where you could get your energy system and your aura cleared. Mm-hmm. And people were learning how to do it, and they invited people in so they could experience and practice doing on them. And I was invited. There's this room with a lot of people, and I was sitting there waiting my turn. And this little old woman named Ellie Vincent was sitting on the other side of the room, and she, all of a sudden, from across the room, she yelled at me, "Get back in your body!"
Wow.
And I went, thunk, back into my body.
Okay.
Oh, man, Well, that happened 3-4 times. Where she just went yelling, "Get back in your body!" Clunk. And then I burst into tears because I realized that I was never in my body.
Wow.
That I was like out there somewhere,
Not
in
around
the ethers.
Yes.
I hear there's a body down there for me somewhere, So I learned from her how to really get in my body and how to ground. And she had taught at the Berkeley Psychic Institute. Mm-hmm. And I worked very extensively with her and loved it. It was like this energy system that I've been so sensitive all the time. I finally had a way to begin to operate and work with my energy system and how to talk to energy and get information. And then I had this urge to put my hands on people. And so I branched off and left and just got a massage table and started putting my hands on. And I found when I did that, it gave me other kinds of information. Mm-hmm. And then eventually I went to massage school and became a licensed massage therapist so that I could legally touch people.
Right.
But I developed my own energy work out of that. So it wasn't Reiki or anything else, but I found that I was doing something very similar to Reiki. It was just Megan's version. And since then I've been attuned, and I love that. And I love to turn my hands on, and I figure everything is great. Use and access as much as possible.
Right. So tell us about a session with you, what that would consist of. It sounds to me, just in this brief time talking to you, that you tailor-make your sessions according to what your client requires.
Yes, definitely. I have a really broad spectrum there. So I do phone sessioning with people, and they'll call me, and I do a lot of coaching and Gestalt dialogue work where you can talk to parts of yourself or your illness or whatever situation is happening and create a wonderful healing there. And then if somebody comes to see me in person, I always first, I ask them why they're here, what they're hoping to have happen for themselves, and what their intention is. And I get clear then, because it creates a channel for the energy to come through and deliver something for them. Sometimes people come, I do a lot of, in Utah where I live, I do a lot of very medical work. And
so you're working with doctors?
well, no, people who are very ill, who have serious health issues, who usually aren't really getting the results or the help that they're really wanting from traditional medicine. So I work in an acupuncture clinic with a wonderful woman who's a wonderful healer, and we work collaboratively.
Wonderful.
And I work from, as I was sharing with you earlier, with genetics and the methylation pathways of the liver. Right through, I do lymphatic work and love that. And in fact, at the end of January, I'll be learning how to drain the organs, do the lymph work on the organs, which I'm really excited about. And I use a lot of craniosacral work, which is, it's the central nervous system, it's also the chakra system.
Absolutely.
So it's a wonderful, wonderful modality to work in. Sometimes people, I had a young woman who came in the other day, and she was having a lot of problems with her relationship, and her partner really wanted her to deal with some issues there, and she was willing and really interested. And it turned out that a lot of what was really up for her was a physical problem with her endocrine system.
Wow.
And her thyroid really wasn't working, and so she was having a lot of her emotions weren't really online, and she was in a fog, and she just couldn't get comfortable in herself, and she needed to address her physical situation before she was really going to make much headway with her emotional, because the impact from the physical to the emotional, it was so overlapping.
Absolutely.
And so I just got to say, sweetie, you're sick. You're just really, really sick. And it's interesting to be able to look, and just kind of see which body or bodies is really needing to be addressed first. Because the system has almost like a menu. Deal with this, and then we can deal with this, and we can deal with this.
And I'm sure quite often you're finding that there's an overlapping, that one condition is affecting another area. Maybe an emotional condition is affecting a physical area of your life, and vice versa.
Absolutely. We're just this amazing, connected, I think we're miracles. Human beings, being a person is just a miracle.
Absolutely.
And it's just this incredible exploration every time somebody honors me with the privilege of getting to work with them.
That's wonderful.